Next one, the easiest way for preventing stress caused by work or home pressure is to indulge in high level of physical activities. The easiest way. Okay, I'm just going to go with a collocation. The easiest way to do something. The easiest way to do something. That's the collocation. So, right, either I will say, again, couple of errors here. Part A, I will change for to 2. And to collocate with that, part B, preventing will change to prevent. So the easiest way to prevent stress caused by work or home pressure is to indulge in high level of physical activities. So there are two ways of looking at it. So I'm just looking at collocations with this construction, right? The easiest way to stop eating junk food. The easiest way to avoid snacking. Now with the collocation, if I have to go with this collocation, the easiest way for, right, I will go with a noun, right? So for example, if I say the easiest way for something, to do something, right? So for example, the easiest way for electricity to travel fast, right? So in this construction, I would say the easiest way for, I'm going with a noun here. To, again, verb. So in the construction, I would go with the easiest way to prevent stress. These example sentences that you have put, I am going basically with correcting all the possible errors, right? I am not saying, hey, okay, this question, I need to only look at one part where the error is and I will only choose one part. This is more of a discussion here and we are looking at the sentence and we are saying, hey, there's more than one part that has the error and we really need to look at it, right? So, I am hoping and praying that you don't get questions like this in the exam where there is more than one part that has the error. If that is the case, you need to skip it and move on, right? The idea is for us to learn saying, hey, this is what the collocation is, this is what the construction is, and there are chances where there can be a possibility of more than one error. So I don't know if there is a typo error, maybe it's not for and it's to, maybe it's not preventing and it's prevent, I don't know. Or maybe the question is like this itself, right? So the objective, Sudha, here is not to stick to one part just because keeping in mind the exam. Yes, like I said, I don't wish for these questions to come in your exam where there is more than one part that has the error. But since we are discussing and looking at this question, observing and carefully examining it, we understand that there is more than one error. So it's okay, right? So the easiest way to do something, which is in this case, the easiest way to prevent stress caused by work or home pressure is to indulge in high level of physical activities and not stick to just one part and say, hey, this is the only part that can have the error because that's how it is. A variety of pleasant items in the shop attract everybody. I don't know if this was, the question sounds familiar to me. I don't know if I covered this in the daily test explanation or in our previous sessions. But if you remember, let's see how many of you remember the answer to this. A variety of pleasant items in the shop attract everybody. So the query is, it is no other question according to my source, but I thought it should be attracts in place of attract. So I had given an explanation. If anybody can remember the explanation, you are free to share it. That is, if you've taken the daily test or in any of my previous sessions, this question was discussed. I actually remember it. Attract is fine as it is. When you have a variety of, right, that's your clue. So when you have a variety of, right, a plural form, a plural verb form, follows it. More than one item. But otherwise also, right? Let's look at what if you don't have a plural noun after a variety of? You can still use a plural verb. So for example, if I say a variety of treatment methods. In fact, I think it will usually come up, a variety of will follow a plural noun number only will follow, because here again we're talking about more than one method exist. Treatment is acting like an adjective here. Now that we understand, let's move on. We said variety of follows plural verb form, but varieties, right? Varieties of depends on the context. It can either follow, it can take up a plural verb or a singular verb, right? In fact, you will find the singular form very rare because it's very formal. But let's look at a couple of example sentences, Vigneshwari. Since you brought it up, I'm sure it will be helpful for other people also. So if I say, there are many varieties of sauces on the market. Right? Varieties of. So here it's taking up a plural verb. But again, depending on the context, if I say each variety of tree has its own name. So here again, there are a lot of things contributing to why it is the singular verb form. Yeah? Each in this context. So depending on the context, it will take up singular or plural, but yes, mostly plural. The next question type, which is finding errors, right? Let's quickly look at it. So we understand the context. Let's read. And if you notice, the way the question is broken up is also in the same sequence, right? It's not confusing. The sequence is not changed in 1, 2, 3, 4. So more than scoring points for choosing the color, the actress creating a fluff with a mini cape that she wore to match her dress. Okay, so let's look at it part by part. Okay, more than scoring points for. So for as a preposition here brings in the meaning of what is the purpose of scoring the points, right? So purpose is established here. So preposition for is fine. More than scoring points. For what? Choosing the color, the actress creating a fluff with the mini cape that she wore to match her dress. Some of you said to, right? Okay, any word that you are not following. What's a fluff? Like you've heard, birds kind of fluff their feathers. So her mini cape, a cape, right? Like a cape is nothing but, imagine Batman, right? His cape, he has a cape that she wore to match it. So basically what she did is choosing the color. Actress not creating, the tense in the sentence is past tense. So created a fluff, not fluff. Not with ed. So here fluffed means just she's probably taken up some additional, some soft fibers from other fabrics. So she created a fluff with the mini cape that she wore to match her dress. That's about it. So she attached some soft fibers to the cape to make it more interesting. So obviously the error is in part 2. Yeah? So everybody clear on that. So obviously I just explained, I gave an example of Batman for cape. It's basically like a cloak which has no sleeves. It's a sleeveless cloak. Or in more easier terms, what do you call a shawl? Or some sort of a wrap. Right? So that's why I gave the example of Batman. We are saying the purpose of her choosing the color, right? That's what we're bringing. We need the preposition that gives us that meaning. So more than scoring points for the purpose of choosing the color, the actress created a fluff with the mini cape that she wore to match the dress. So her objective was not to get points for the color, but to kind of make her cape more interesting so that it can match her dress. So she doesn't really understand the context. So she doesn't really pay attention to the color of the dress, but she wants to ensure that her cape is matching her dress. So more than scoring points for choosing the color, the actress created a fluff with a mini cape that she wore to match her dress. So that's the context. If you understand the context, you know that the preposition for is correct as it is. You don't have to make any changes and the error is in part 2.